I saw them displaying a lot more team coordination, a lot less hiccups in communication in that first game. But that doesn't say when things go wrong. Honestly, people start getting stressed out. Whether people are like screaming or they're like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" Things
Yeah.
can happen. The games can snowball. This gives them a chance to reset and show what they're capable of.
So we'll see. You look at the blind bands coming out right there. Tempest and Keeper of the Forest coming out from Mint. Don't want to deal with those powerful junglers' suicide presence. Predator Pearl yet again though coming out from Supreme Squad. So obviously they did that the first game as well, and didn't have to deal with either one of those. Again, kind of interesting. But you were making the point even earlier, Predator especially, and so Pearl for that matter, being one of the 6 new heroes in tournament rules. 2 heroes that maybe you could start seeing.
Well, Predator is not a new hero in tournament rule.
Well,
But yeah, for sure.
We don't really
Definitely
see him
buffed up to the point of potential usability.
Yeah. Fake going to be the first lock. Deadwood Engineer. Look at that. Devour and then Plague Rider on top of that. Now the final lock going to be coming out here from ssQ. So always fun to see the Devour potential, especially with Engineer on top of that. You think of Lion Esports Club and their Devour Engineer combination and how powerful that proved to be. So kind of wonder if the potential might be there for that. But Ophelia is going to be the final lock. So overall, pretty strong lock pull here when it comes down to it. Of course, remember, Devour as well, he can no longer, whoever he is devouring or ulting or whatever, cannot be tableted anymore because they are immobilized. So something else to keep in mind. Kind of a solid buff for him.
Sure. He writes respect band coming out there. Not actually sure what.
Yeah, I
was
wonder
Mr. Dahl playing
Tempest, maybe?
Was he playing the Ophelia in the previous game? Who is he?
Well, the band heroes were Tempest and Keeper.
Oh, yeah, they had Ophelia on Legion. Yeah, I don't know.
He was playing Tempest, yeah. So they banned Tempest.
No. Supreme Squad was Supreme Squad had the Ophelia. Mint had the. No,
but
I'm gonna
Mr.
say. What am I
Dahl
saying?
is the one
What am I
that-
saying?
yeah.
No. The Suicide was the Tempest. So I'm just totally mixed up here. The Suicide was the Tempest.
this.
The Ophelia was in the woods. Mr. Dahl was playing it though, or not?
Yeah, he was. He was the Suicide Tempest. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Actually, you know what I'm noticing too? Wait a second. They're on the same sides? No, never mind.
No. They switched up.
They
switched up.
Yeah, never mind. Anyways, we're moving along here. A lot of confusion going on. Parasite and Pebble so far banned. There's a Kraken ban coming out right there. So Kraken definitely having a presence last game. And again, a hero I expect to see a little bit more of. And we've already seen a little bit more of. Again, Q Squad specifically has definitely shown that they like to run him. Pandemonium, another hero that Q Squad, speaking of them, has shown that they like to run.
Yeah, people talked about him really propelling as sort of being a crazy new carry of sorts. I think it was Moon yesterday having faced off against Q Squad's Panda and seen what it's capable of. Definitely sets another hero to fear now, and sort of got crazily buffed by the fact that push sticks no longer really work on that ultimate. Not no longer really work. It just doesn't. Immobilizes 2-stop push sticks, 2-stop rally from happening.
There's the Jeraziah ban coming out as well. Good old Hauntour lobby expiring. Jeraziah ban. Speaking of that, coming out from Mania here, so don't want to have to deal with that the cheese factor, as so many people like to call it. Magnus, the final ban from Mint, and one more ban to go before we enter that pick stage, of course. So again, this event, 128 teams, or at least we're starting with a round of 128. I believe it ended up being 120 or so full 5-man teams that eventually signed up. So pretty good turnout, though, in the end for this event. And, again, 2 spots. Well, technically it's not only 2 spots for the DreamHack, but they also get $4,000 travel stipend to help them get there to the DreamHack event as well. So just to clarify on that as far as the actual prize pool for this event when it comes down to it. So Torturer, the final ban, and now here we go with the picking stage. Also, you can find all that information on Hauntour.com. It's actually ran through the Hauntour system, obviously. So it is on the Hauntour.com website as far as the format and all the rules and whatnot, and even the brackets, of course, for this good event. So first pick, Lyle G1. Going to definitely think about it a little bit. See what he wants to go with. Obviously, plenty of options on the board. And there you go, the Aluna first pick. Very solid option there. Coming out from Mint. Now back over to ssQ. You see the Solstice being right-clicked.
Yeah, you see the Solstice. He's maybe wanting to show Mint how he likes to run on the other side. I might want to have a little bit of fun with this game, figuring that they might have a little bit of an edge after their dominating performance in Game 1.
Yeah.
Luna was picked up. Yeah, I'm not going to read too much into the drafts this game. Be like, oh, why aren't they picking this Master of Arms, and why aren't they picking this Rally Up, and all these very powerful, flexible heroes on the board. So just, there's a lot out there, guys. It's been made clear this is the round of 128. Neither team is necessarily at the top level of play, but they're having fun with each other. They are still trying to compete here, and they might have a different style of approach.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be what we're used to seeing. It's not going to be the typical flavor, but there's a mix. Empath is being picked up here by Supreme Squad this game, formerly being played on Team Mint.
Yeah. You do see that Empath and the artillery being right-clicked here. 5 seconds left, so Mania needs to make that decision fairly quickly here. Voodoo Jester going to be coming out kind of in a left field. I mean, see the right clicks that were happening and the time running out, and they already have an Empath support, but they also go Voodoo Jester on top of that. So Voodoo Jester, a hero that didn't receive any changes, at least from what I recall, in this big runic shift patch that we had. So kind of an interesting note there, but in general though, he's can be a solid support. Obviously, Nova showed that very earlier on in the Han Tour season. Love to run that Voodoo Jester, and I would think actually that new Lex Talionis item seems like it could be a solid item for him on top of that Cursed Ground even. So a lot of
yeah, a little bit
there,
of potential there. It is still quite a bit expensive to expect to pick it up early on, but yeah, maybe I still think something like a tablet just has a lot more utility a lot of the time. I'm not sure if I'd necessarily, especially for support, it helps you survive, helps you teammates out of there. The amplified damage is nice. I'm just not sure if it's something I would jump to as a go-to. Maybe. Yeah, Voodoo Jester didn't receive any changes in the runic shift patch, but he did get buffed up a lot before then.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely had his buffs during the Han Tour season, and again, I know Nova obviously played him quite a bit earlier on. A couple of interesting couple of picks there. Dampier and then the Gauntlet. Now, Dampier himself didn't get any changes, but the introduction of Lightbrand and eventually Grimoire of Power, very powerful item for a hero like Dampier, I know. Gauntlet, he did receive some buffs, including that hook range, basically now equivalent to a Devourer hook range at level 4. He definitely has some good potential as well, and obviously a very bursty hero, a snowball effect hero. So excited to see a couple of these final picks here, Emperor.
Yeah, Gauntlet, he's here. He got his hook range actually buffed up to Devour proportions at level 4. It's to 1100 range when he chooses to max it out. So that's a hero that we talked about. Yeah, I talked to some people from Stay Green before. They actually thought Gauntlet had some presence or potentially some usability before as a flexible hero slot. And now with the buffs, having that longer hook range can definitely be a push stopper. And adding the Devourer on top of it, oh god.
Well, they can match each other apparently.
And the Fade to give clear vision on top of that.
Double hook.
Yeah, a lot of
scary
potential for a lot of fun plays is coming out here.
This is a very, very active lineup. I mean, this is not a lineup that's looking to get into that late game stage. This is a lineup that's looking to have early aggression and just dominate by the mid game. That's for sure. Coming out from a Supreme Squad, so that's exciting at least. Honestly, in that sense, the tides have kind of turned. I mean, if I was to pick a team that picked the more solid overall lineup, I would definitely go with Mint here as far as their laning potential and what they have across the board. But ssQ, obviously they showed last game. They definitely are a team that knows what they're doing to an extent, and it's exciting to see Devour, Gauntlet, Fade. Wow, I'm blanking here. Empath and Voodoo Jester coming out with their 5-man lineup. So gonna be some fun here, I'm sure. To say the least. And that's ultimately what we ask for, especially in this round, is that entertainment value. And with the heroes that we have in front of us, I think we're definitely going to get that. And okay, so, but speaking of Mint, and I was talking about Dampier. I mean, would you agree that with the Lightbrand introduction and the Grimoire of Power, I mean, it really did buff him in a sense for tournament rules?
Definitely. It's a snowball farm item for him. Gives him a more clear itemization route that helps him snowball. On top of that, I actually heard that Dampier received hidden buffs that weren't actually listed on the changelog.
What?
I would need to see. Yeah, I actually heard that Dampier. I heard that. I'm not sure. I need to compare the. Yeah, I heard that Dampier's changes were not actually listed, and that he actually did receive some buffs as well in this patch.
Did you hear it on Han Gossip?
No, I didn't hear it on Han Gossip. I'm actually going to confirm my facts here while I can, so that should take care of the camera. I'm not actually going to compare it, but yeah, I was told by what should be a reliable source that Dampier did receive some unmentioned changes.
Okay, and I can't say I'm aware of that whatsoever, but that would be interesting to kind of follow up on that and see what those actually were. If so, I'm obviously having fun though with this Gauntlet skin, man. This is a badass Gauntlet skin. It's got a freaking huge ram helmet on him on his hand that I'm guessing he shoots out. So, anyways, speaking of new skins, oh, Devour, he hooks his teammate right there on accident. Might not matter in the end, though. Deb was in a lot of trouble right here. Deb was going to be collapsed on. There is no rock coming out from Devour, of course, but it doesn't matter. Bloodlust kill right off the bat. And again, with this lineup, can't say I'm too surprised. Well, it was interesting, though, because Mania, he went to hook, and Empath ran right in front of the hook when he was going for it. So it nearly saved Deadwood, but obviously it didn't matter in the end right there.
Not enough. I'm still trying to...
Confirmation on that.
Yeah, the damn pure stats here.
But, yeah, Deadwood obviously going to the bottom lane by himself, and now he is eventually going to be joined by Aluna, it looks like, down there, as he's now kind of resetting things, going back down there. Legionnaire off to the jungle. That means Dampier going to be setting up mid, and, of course, Plague Rider going to be going to the top lane. So,
whoa.
Whoa.
No. See, that was there before, right?
I'm confused. What
With Bloodthirst, did each essence increase his move speed by 5 before?
I'm not a crazy Dampier expert. I can't necessarily say if that was the case. So, speaking of Dampier, actually, nearly getting hooked into a kill range right there. Tower doing a good amount of damage, but he's going to be fine.
I'm pretty sure that's new. I'm pretty sure that's new, Breaky, that each essence he has increases move speed by 5, so he gets a 15 move speed. On top of it,
So he basically got a 15 move speed buff, if that's the case. Again, I would rather get more confirmation on that
No.
Start making statements.
I'm going to make that statement. We'll see what happens. I'm going out there.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say it's fact.
Yeah.
And then see if it actually is. All right. But, okay, so what do we got going into this game right there? Look at the lanes, man. We got a tri-lane Devourer being ran down here. Devourer, Voodoo Jester, Empath against what is a Deadwood Aluna and a Legionnaire in the jungle. It's safe to say this Hellborn team has the advantage down here at the bottom lane. And actually, Aluna might be in a little bit of trouble right now. Empath coming in. Only has a wall currently. Going to use it right there. Runs into Deadwood. Oh, that's a beautiful acid cocktail bouncing back and forth. Devour coming in. Does have a hook to use a rod on top of Aluna. There's a hook in. Will it be enough for the kills? The question. Aluna running away. She's barely out of range. Not going to matter, though. The rod just doing enough damage. And down falls Aluna. Cursed Ground going to be applied to Deadwood. It's only level 1, though, so not the biggest deal in the world. But that Essence Drain is a pretty big deal. Deadwood taking a lot of damage right there. Will the ticks be enough? Nope, not even close. Again, only level 1 Cursed Ground. So he'll be fine. But as expected, a very, very active ssQ team here so far, early on in this game right now.
I mean, action is what we expected, and, well, the snowball potential is definitely there. Their lineup, 2,000 gold lead at 2 minutes into the game, already setting the pace very much here. Deadwood can't even go up to the creep wave at this point, honestly. So, yeah, doing a great job applying the early aggression here in the mid lane. Gauntlet's actually being on after doing some excellent body blocking, and he's going to have the glove up soon.
Yeah. He does have the regen rune bottled up as well, and so he's going to go Dampier may turn this around, though. 3 seconds. No, the regen rune going to be used, and Gauntlet will be fine. So obviously, again, he knew he had that bottled up, so took a little bit more of a risk right there, but wasn't to be in the end. So, but this middle matchup, I mean, right now you got Dampier 9-2, Gauntlet 12-3 currently. Definitely Gauntlet having the better time. He got the early bottle. He's going in right here. He does have the Q. Nice job from Dampier initially using the Terrorize to get him away. Will it be enough? There's the Q from Gauntlet, though. The Power Glove comes out. Infernal Instability, to be exact, and down falls Dampier. Bottom lane. Oh, looked like there was a...
Yeah, there was. Deadwood's about to... Actually, I thought he was about to die there to the curse, but it was only level 1. Devourer, he walked up. The creep was like right within his hitbox, so he tried to hook. I believe it was the range group at the time. He just hooked right back into him. Ended up missing the kill in the end, but not a big deal. They still have total control of the lane. All lanes, really, at this point, so it's continuing as is.
Love this Devourer skin, too. He has that big frog that he just throws out. It's actually pretty hilarious, so...
He's not using the OP skin, man. The
one that comes out of the
yeah, it just comes out of nowhere, just phases into existence.
Gauntlet finding Legionnaire at level 6, using the Gauntlet blast. Voodoo Jester comes in at the last second, not even necessary though. So Gauntlet already hitting level 6. Dampier is still level 4 currently. Goes to show you, Tushi Manushi played the Kraken last game. He is having a fantastic start, and it is showing 435 gold from him already, as we are just over the 4-minute mark. And he's also going to go bottle up the Invis rune at the top there. So, fantastic start for him. It seems like the bottom lane's going pretty back and forth.
I saw him at the start of the game. He actually shouted out to Liv, who is kind of well known in the scene, as well as Male there from QSQ. So, I looked at his account to try to get some information on his stats. it's honestly just a fresh account. There's absolutely nothing to read, so it leads me to believe he is a player that's not really in that 1500 range like a lot of these players might be, and might be a step above. So as far as who it is, whether it's just a more accomplished human player or not, it looks okay. He's disconnecting. Is that really a rage quit?
I think it might be. I mean,
I've done it before.
Yeah, it's obviously.
I've done it before.
It's another pretty bad start here, unfortunately, for Mint, and it wouldn't surprise me if that ultimately was a rage quit in the end. Which
like,
is
you know what?
I'm
done.
But he's like, yeah, this bottom lane, not going to deal with it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave here, guys. I hate to see that in a competitive match, but at the same time, again, this is this is the first round of a big tournament, and when you have teams like this, clearly Mint, they were the new team. I believe ssQ actually was in a couple of Han Tour events, if I'm not mistaken. But
okay, they are pausing for him. It might not be a rage quit at that point, or maybe they're trying to get him rejoined. Maybe he had to restart his computer. Maybe he crashed. I'm not sure. So either way, disconnected here. A lot of options, but right now, okay.
Well, there you go. There's your answer. If that is the case, we honestly might just jump into another match here. Because there's no point in obviously wasting time here in what is ultimately going to be a 5 versus 4, and already it's just a ridiculous start for the team with 5. So, what we should do is, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a short break. We're going to go ahead and take a short break right here to kind of get things figured out as far as another match that we want to jump into. And we'll get that figured out. So, short little break here. Stay tuned, though, guys. We'll definitely have another match coming at you from the round of 128. Going to be fun. Obviously, in this case, it looks like ssQ is ultimately going to win the series 2-0. So, to kind of clarify on that. But, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight.